What's going on, everybody? I'm Terrence, and this is Bank Shipping. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's having a good morning so far. If you ain't up, go ahead and get up, start that grind. It is Monday morning, so I am delivering those loads that I picked up on Friday that I preloaded. 2-stop Maryland drop, first stop in Rockville, which I am here now. They're getting 3 skids of house wrap, so untarp, all that stuff. Actually just started raining a little bit out of nowhere. It was sunny and everything, and now all of a sudden it's raining. So I'm gonna jump out real quick, get that tarp off, get those straps off. Hopefully they come and unload me in a timely manner so I can get down the road, because I still got to drop in Annapolis and then come back to Winchester to reload insulation for tomorrow. So with that being said, I'll see y'all in a little bit. All right, so just checking my straps here. Just got loaded. Always this insulation's so light. You know, I always, once I get loaded, tighten everything down, and then on the way to the house, you know, it separates and stuff like that, you know, settles and all that good stuff. So it gives me, you know, a couple mile trip on the highway, going highway speeds, to let everything settle and then tighten down my straps when I'm done. Normally I only have to do it on the front skid because that's what gets the most wind, and a lot of times in between the skids, you know, they'll start to, when the wind gets in between them, it'll start to push the wind out, and so that's what kind of loosens up your straps. Really no way to get over that. I mean, I've been hauling this stuff for years. That's just the way that it is. Only thing that really kind of stops that is if you have a tarp. So I've even thought about getting a nose tarp, just the nose tarp stuff, but then it's like, I don't know if I want to do all that work if I don't have to, when the product still rides fine. It just bows out in the, you know, in between, doesn't really cause an issue. You know, once it settles, you normally only have to tighten your straps one time and then it's fine. So, but that's what I was doing. That's why the camera was, you know, all up in my face. But we're loaded. Got the 2-stop dropped off, Rockville, Maryland, Annapolis, Maryland. You know, got Rockville off pretty quickly. Annapolis, not so much so. A lot of times these building supply stores, ABC, Roof Center, Beacon, all these places, they will stop what they're doing with you because their trucks or their customers, you know, coming in to pick up orders, they take priority. And it is annoying as shit. It really is, because it's like, man, like today I had 8 skids that were going to Annapolis, and you know, the dude takes off 4 on one side, and then I had to move over because I got a real tight parking lot. Then I had to move over so they could get the other side, and he gets 3 skids off the other side, so there's only 1 left, and he stops and unloads an ABC truck, then loads an ABC truck, and then another ABC truck came in, he unloaded them, and then a customer came in and he loaded them. All the while I got 1 skid left on my truck. 1. So I sat for 45 minutes waiting for 1 skid to be taken off. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I'm not even gonna say what I normally say, which is, you know, y'all know, it is what it is, but I said it. But anyway, got back, timely manner. Kingspan wasn't busy whatsoever. There's a couple trucks in the door. There was 1 truck sitting in front of the bay that I used that was tarping, so he got out the way so I could back in the door, and was loaded in a timely manner, which is a good thing because today I have to be somewhere later on tonight, which is my youngest daughter's Christmas party, or not Christmas party, Christmas play. So gotta be there for that. Can't miss that. Don't want to be late for that. So I'm glad that I didn't have to do the normal of hurry up and wait today at Kingspan. So we're done. This goes to Suffolk, Virginia tomorrow. And then I have a load to pick up down that way, which I actually gotta go, before I go home, gotta go pick up some new binders because of some equipment. And you know, a couple videos back I talked about how a lot of my binders were damaged, no good, so I gotta go replace those real quick so that I don't have any trouble when I load this equipment tomorrow. But man, one of my subscribers hit me up the other day in the DMs when I was down in DC, had a question about running in New York and stuff like that. I don't run in New York, but I know what you need to do in New York, you know, as far as like your hut sticker and stuff like that. And so he asked if he could call me. So I said, sure. Shot him my number. He called me. Man, we chopped it up for like 45 minutes, almost an hour on the phone, just running ideas back and forth with each other. You know, that was great. You know, I loved every bit of it. I mean, he even gave me some inspiration myself. You know, I was talking about like how I'm not a big person on checking my subscribers. Like I don't check how many subscribers I have every day. You know, it's not the money for me. You know, I check my subscribers because I want to make sure that my message is getting out to as many people as possible, you know, so that I can help as many people as possible. You know, that YouTube money, some of them guys, might be making thousands of dollars off YouTube, but I don't. YouTube ain't gonna pay my bills, so I care less about the money aspect of it. Is it nice to have a little pocket change from YouTube? Sure, but when I say pocket change, that's all it is, at least for me. But I was talking about how sometimes, you know, it gets frustrating because, you know, I'm out here trying to spit as much knowledge, as much free game as possible, and sometimes to me it feels like nobody's watching, you know, and I'm like, what in the world can I do without sacrificing myself, you know, and talk about the things that I said I wouldn't talk about, i.e. money, and still get my message out. Man, let me tell you, when this man dropped a gem, he dropped a gem. He said, brother, you only going to reach out to the people who's willing to accept your message. And when I tell you that hit me deep. I thought to myself, said, you know what, this man is right. The people who's willing to accept the realness and the free game that I'm giving out, those are the only people that's going to watch. And I had to think to myself, I was like, you know what, that man's right, and I'm good with that. So to the subscribers that I got, man, shouts out to y'all, man. Shouts out to y'all for helping me get through this, you know, giving me video tips, asking me questions. You know, I love that stuff, man. Like when people shoot me DMs, you know, I'm not saying I'm quick on the ball game and get right to you right then and there, because I do have other stuff to do. But man, I answer all y'all's questions. Whatever questions you have, I have people like, man, can you mentor me? Sure. How much you charge? Nothing. I don't need to make no money off of it because I'm giving free game right now. Anything that you want to know, I put it on a video. And if I haven't put it on a video yet, all you got to do is ask and I'll put it on a video. Because we all brothers, man. We all looking out for each other. Like I said, me and the subscriber, we bounced ideas off each other and things like that. Man, I love that. So, you know, if you guys are, any of you are looking for somebody to ask a question, you know, somebody who's going to be straight with you, 100% with you, not BS you, you know, and try to help you the best way that they can, go ahead, hit my DMs, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, whatever. You know, now I'm not saying I'm gonna give everybody my number to where my phone's blowing up 100,000 times a day, you know, but I get to you the best way that I can, because that's what I started this channel for, was to help. You know, I just kind of wanted to throw that out there, you know, because the more people that I can help, the better that I feel. You know, the better that I think this industry can be. You know, I'm not saying that everybody's got to have the same views as what I do. Not everybody's got to run the same way that I do, you know, but if we stay positive and we stop BSing each other and help each other out, run ideas with each other, you know, hell, we can even run loads off each other. You know, we can network with ourselves, you know. So if y'all ever in the area and y'all need help getting out of Virginia, if I can help you get out of Virginia, I will. You know, and like I said, it ain't about the money for me. I like spitting this free game because I want to see people prosper. You know, you really don't, like, I was helped. I was helped in lots of ways. In life in general, I was helped in this business with, you know, giving people gave me guidance in this business as well. So why would I hold all that to myself when I can give it to somebody else? And those people didn't charge me for the game, so why would I charge somebody else for the game, for the knowledge? No, I'ma help y'all like somebody helped me. I'm passing it on. That's just how I am. So, but that's enough of that. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see y'all down in Suffolk in the morning. So y'all just watched me unload at Richie Bros auction up in Northeast Maryland. So I didn't do a lot of filming yesterday, planned on it, but ended up being in a lot bigger rush than what I anticipated. I took a load to Suffolk, Virginia yesterday. It's about a 3.5 hour trip. Supposed to get down there about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And that's, you know, what time I planned on getting down there. And there was an accident on 64 that shut down all lanes. Sat there for about maybe a little under 2 hours. So I didn't end up getting to Suffolk until 11. And I was supposed to be in Fredericksburg, Virginia to pick those scissor lifts up. And I had to be there before 3. So it really kind of pressed me for time. So I got to Suffolk, I hurried up and unloaded, did a quick turn, headed back up to Fredericksburg, and I got there at like 2:15. So by the time I got checked in, they figured out which, you know, scissor lifts I was supposed to be getting. Then they wanted me to take a third, but the broker was trying to tell them he didn't have the release form for it yet. And they're like, oh, well, it's okay, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, look, I ain't taking no equipment that doesn't have a release form. I'm not gonna get up here and get stuck because there's no release form. So finally, they understood, so I only ended up taking 2 scissor lifts, easy load, you know, a couple chains. I throw straps over top of them just to be safe, because I haven't personally had it done to me, but I knew a guy who used to work for Sunbelt, and he actually got stopped because he didn't have straps over the scissor lift, and it was in Maryland. So I'm like, well, I'm going to Maryland. You know, I've never seen hydraulics mess up to the point where it'll make something go up. You know, I've seen hydraulics mess up to where they leak off and stuff, if something goes down or something like that. But, you know, I guess this trooper was like, oh, well, you never know what can happen. So, you know, ever since then, I've put straps across, you know, a strap across the top of, you know, scissor lifts when I'm hauling them. So by the time I got up to Northeast, I stayed maybe like 10 minutes or so away from Northeast last night. It was dark, so there was no point in filming in the dark. I hit like 3 different rest areas and they were all full. Finally, I stopped at a Pilot and was actually lucky enough. There was a box truck. He must have parked there to go in to get something because there were no spots. And then it's a really tight Pilot, and so I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to turn around and leave out of here and find somewhere else. I actually thought about, you know, coming straight here and just parking in the entryway. And the guy went and got in the box truck and he pulled out. So I was like, score. So I was able to get in that spot. So I stayed there last night, got up this morning. So now we're here at Richie Bros, just unloaded. Now I'm about to head back to Winchester to get loaded for tomorrow, and I'll probably have some trailers to run. So I will see you guys in a little while. All right, we're done for today. Easy day. Dropped off in Northeast, came back to Winchester. Was kind of annoyed, man. I was looking for a load because I knew all I had to do was load my load of insulation for tomorrow. So all I had to do today after I dropped that load in Northeast. So I was kind of looking for something, see if I could find a little short load. There's always little short loads around the Baltimore area and stuff like that. So tried to see if I could find me a little short load, to kind of a little filler load to put in between before I went back to my customer and picked up for tomorrow. Couldn't find nothing. So I said, whatever, I'll go ahead and deadhead on back to the house. It's not a terrible deadhead. It's like 70 miles or something like that. So start heading back, and I get like 30 minutes back, you know, 30 minutes from my customer, and my phone rings. So I answered, and it's a broker that I've worked with before a couple times, asking me if I have a truck in the Baltimore area, because they needed a load picked up at the port and ran to West Virginia. There couple loads, a couple weeks back, I did the same exact load to, you know, from the port of Baltimore to this factory in West Virginia, and it's literally on the way home. Puts me like 35-40 minutes away from home, you know, away from Winchester to pick up my load. I was so mad. I was like, man, you couldn't have called me like an hour and a half ago. Would have been perfect. It's paying good money too. So I missed out on that one. I even contemplated turning around and going back. I was like, nah, I'm not going to do all that. And it's a good thing that I didn't, because my customer was slammed. I got there at 11:30, and it's now almost 5 o'clock, and I'm just getting back to the yard. So they were actually absolutely slammed. You know, line wasn't bad when I got there. You know, it wasn't too terrible, but when I left, the line was wrapped all the way around the building. So those guys are going to be waiting for a while. So I'm glad I got there anyway. You know, they always say there's a reason for everything. Well, there was a reason for me not to get that load, and that was probably that reason. So I got out of there in a decent time. So we're back. That's the end of the day. But before I get off here, you know, I always like leaving y'all with a little tip or a little motivation or something like that. Today, if you in trucking, please, 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 if you are in trucking and you drive, get one of them. Get you a CB radio. Get you an antenna. Get your antenna tuned right. Turn it on channel 19. It don't have to be blasted. The volume don't have to be blasted up so it just drowns out everything, you know, your radio and all that stuff like that. You listening to music and all that. But turn it on. Keep it up a little bit so you can hear somebody saying something to you. It's absolutely ridiculous how many drivers don't have no CB radio. It is a lifesaver. It can tell you about accidents up ahead. It can tell you about traffic up ahead. It can tell you about troopers setting up ahead. deputies, whatever's in your area. It can tell you if something's wrong with your load. If you got a flatbed, it can tell you if something's wrong with your trailer. That's all I got today. Isn't the first time this has happened to me. No tire. His outside dual was gone on his trailer. On the passenger side, rear tandem. Outside dual, gone. He done blew the tire. And I'm running 70 miles an hour and he flew past me like nothing's wrong. So I grabbed the radio and asked him if he had his ears on. Nothing. Asked him again. Nothing. So I sped up a little bit, try to get up next to him. I get up next to him. He ain't got no radio in the truck. So I did some hand signals, honked the horn, went like that, you know, tell him, look in your mirror or something. He just throws up the deuces like I was waving at him and kept it moving. I ended up getting off the exit, you know, to get on, this was on 95. I ended up getting off on 695 just north of Baltimore, and he was kept on trucking going down towards, you know, south towards Baltimore. I don't know what happened to him. Hopefully he didn't wreck. Hopefully he figured it out. But get you a radio, man. There's no sense in not having a radio. Yeah, there's some CB Rambos out there and some people that just BS on the radio to where you want to turn it off because you don't want to hear it. But at least have it on, have one and have it on a little bit, man. It can save you a headache, it can save you a lot of trouble. If you need help, you can find help off of the radio. I understand everybody's got cell phones and stuff like that. But what if you're in an area that don't have no cell phone coverage? You know, a radio could be your friend. So get you a CB radio. I love mine. You know, I keep mine on all day. The only time I turn it down is, of course, if I'm in the truck at night sleeping. It's the only time my radio goes off. Any other time the other, it's on. Because I like to know what's going on. Look, just think about how many accidents you've seen where it's been pileups that could have been avoided had people had their radios on or had a radio at all. Just something to think about, man. I kind of wanted to throw that out there because, you know, back in the day, it was everybody had a radio. Everybody talked to each other. Everybody told you what they left behind you. You know, what you could expect in front of you, weather, traffic, all that stuff. You didn't need a phone. You didn't need Google Maps. You didn't need none of that stuff to tell you traffic or anything like that. You didn't need Waze to tell you about cops because the CB would tell you. Somebody on the other line, on the other side would tell you. And these days, nobody has one. I mean, shoot, back in the day, even people in cars had one. Not so much anymore. I think probably every 10 trucks I pass or see on the road, one's got a radio. So just a little tip, man. Thought I'd throw that out there. Want to see everybody get a radio. Think it's something that is a necessity out here in trucking. At least that's the way I think. So with that being said, everybody have a fun night, safe night, all that good stuff. Everything I always say. And stay prayed up, grind hard, and stay humble.